Well, we're here in Aragon for the final race of the day, and it's the PATA European Junior Cup powered by Honda. I'm joined in the commentary box, Michael Hill here with Maria Costello, a former racer herself and vastly experienced in this championship. Maria, welcome.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here. I'm here mentoring the women that we've got in the Women's European Championship, and it's great that they've all made it to the grid.
Absolutely. A new dimension to the PATA European Junior Cup this year, the addition of the FIM Europe Women's European Cup. 4 fast ladies, and Maria, they are very fast. I was watching on track on Friday, and elbows down, and they're not scared to mix it with the boys.
No, we've got some fantastic girls. Avalon Biddle's actually qualified highest out of the girls. Then we've got Victoria Kiss, then Anastasia Kovalenko, and a very brave Laura Rodriguez has made it onto grid despite a crash in qualifying yesterday.
Well, we are now looking at the pole position setter, Mica Perez, the number 8 rider from Spain, a local race. And Maria, of course, so you weren't with us last year. We've changed the motorcycles, and we'll maybe talk a little bit about the bikes as the racing goes on. But Mica Perez was on pole position last year when we ran the 500, 2 pole positions in a row, and he was on the podium here last year. Guillaume Raymond, who we're currently looking at, the number 27 rider from France, and that's a very, very confident young man. Has a reputation, or has had a reputation, without doing him too much disservice, of getting a bit leery and not being too shy when it comes to putting a move on his rivals. Very, very fast, and he was in the championship 2 years ago before going off to Superstock.
That's right. He had a difficult year in Superstock, and now he's back here in the European Junior Cup, and he's really liking this new bike. He's one of the older guys. He's 19.
Another rider that is enjoying the new 650 Honda and looking very relaxed. Cool as a cucumber there is Paolo Gracia from Italy. Made his debut in the championship last year and had some very credible results, actually, did young Paolo, finishing 8th here last year, going on to finish as high as 6th in Assen, which is, of course, where we go next.
And he's only 15 years old. Had a fantastic qualifying session, as you can see.
Talking about ages, the youngest rider on the grid is from South Africa, qualified just outside of the top 20 in 21st position. The number 52 rider, Troy Bezuidenhout, riding with the Into the Blue diving team, and a very, very good talent for the future, as is this young man from Estonia, and an Eastern European country in the championship. Again, Hannes has been in the championship for a couple of years, has had some strong results, constantly in the top 10 last year. The number 38 rider, one to watch.
Yes, he's definitely one of the favourites.
Okay, so you can see a packed grid. We've got 30 riders, and let's just talk you through some of the other movers and shakers in qualifying. 2 qualifying sessions, Maria. One, of course, on Friday, and the safety car is just moving off, so we're 5 minutes away then from the start. Expectations are very high. We saw the championship decided by 7 thousandths of a second in Jerez a couple of years ago. All of these races, it's going to come down to the last lap, last corner.
Absolutely, they're all hungry for it, and they're all on new bikes, so it's going to be really interesting to see how this race pans out.
You've been a racer, I've been a racer in a one-make series. What goes through your mind at this point? They've had a 45-minute delay, they've had to wait, they've had to prepare themselves and go back. Although this man, looking very casual, he's been here before, hasn't he? Javi Orellana, 3rd year in the championship, the runner-up last year.
Yeah, he's been in the European Junior Cup for the longest time. He's done 4 years. So he was 3rd in 2012, 8th in 2013, and like you say, 2nd again last year. So another favourite. And
worth pointing out as well, it's 2 victories last year, 1 at Donington and, of course, 1 at the season finale at Magny-Cours. He did everything he could to wrestle the title from Augusto Fernandez, just missed out by 15 points. He certainly is wanting to win this year.
Yeah, big time.
Number 58 then on the screen at the moment, and a very, very good qualifying position for the number 58, Emanuele Pusquedu. And Emanuele, of course, had a huge crash. I mean, Maria, you were watching out on track, and there were a few hearts in the mouth moment when he went down.
Yes, and actually he's been limping away. He has been declared fit to race, and went out in qualifying and qualified so well considering. So he is riding with a small injury.
Another one of the South African riders, and I've got to say, this young man is really impressing me. I spend a lot of time during the weekend with these young riders, just giving them some advice really of what to say and what not to say. Maybe should take some of that advice myself, depending what happens in the next 20 minutes or so. But Doran Loureiro, running from obviously under the Portuguese barrier, has South African heritage, but what a really, really nice kid, and very, very switched on.
Yeah, again, he's only 15 years old. He's raced in the NSF 100 Samra Championships, and also in the Kawasaki 250 Championships. He finished 2nd in 2013, and in 2014 he won that, and now he's come to the European Junior Cup. I think he'll go well.
Yeah, I think there's a few riders on the grid that could do well. We're looking at one of them right now from Holland, and this was a young lad that I actually, of course, during the race weekends, run the paddock shows, which allow the fans to get really close. And Carlo was at the front, whooping and cheering when Chaz Davies came, and he's a big Chaz Davies fan actually, and he was possibly wanting me to get him up on stage. I said he's got to wait a couple of years, but he's in the right class to prove his worth.
Absolutely, and he does want to prove himself. He's 19 years old, and he's been doing really well in the Dutch Championships.
Matteo Cipretti then from Italy waving, looking very happy, of course. Matteo, and every right to do so. A couple of wildcard rides last year, Maria. Another young lad from Italy, another young lad with a lot of talent.
Yeah, so he finished second in his wildcard ride at Misano last year.
Not
so
too shabby,
he's
is it?
eager.
Okay, so we're just under the 2 minutes to go, and of course, hopefully we will have time just to tell you a little bit about the rules. So as we said, this year we have the FIM Europe Women's European Cup, which runs within that. So it's a race within a race, if you like. But let's give a shout out, if we can, for the fastest of the females, Maria, while we're waiting for the warm-up lap to begin. Avalon Biddle, no stranger to the paddock. She's been in the paddock for a number of years as a fan, and of course, very good friends with a number of the riders. But in terms of her native New Zealand, you've probably got a lot more statistics on her than I have.
Yeah.
But one to watch, she could really trouble the boys. Very, very fast young lady.
Absolutely. She didn't have the best qualifying that she wanted, but again, she's learning a new bike just like everybody else. She's straight from New Zealand winning the Superlight Championship there. That's the first time a woman's won a championship in New Zealand in 20 years. She's ready to beat some boys.
Absolutely. Number 21, she is actually 17th on the grid. We've got the grid there, so we've got Perez, Raymond, Gracia, Suma, Orellana and Pusquedu, the top two rowers who we've seen a little bit up close on camera. We'll run through the rest of the grid for you now. Then onto the third row, Lorero, Slaga, Cipretti. We go on to row 4, De Gratola, another one coming back from Superstock, Laville, Sam Wilford. Already a UK champion, one to watch.
Yeah, we've got a handful of Brits in here. Don't forget to look out for Josh Harland, and also we've got Daniel Drayton
and Stefan Hill there we just see on the screen in the 8th row. I mean, Stefan, very, very unfortunate. He has the accolade of being the first rider to crash this year, so I'm hoping he won't want to repeat that. And how about a shout out there, running in 25th and 29th position, and I know we've got a lot of listeners in Greece tuning in, so welcome from Greece. For the first time in the championship, and I think I'm right in saying, maybe be corrected, but I'm certainly sure, certainly in the junior classes, the first time we've had Greek riders in any class. So we've got the
Greek brothers.
Absolutely, two Greek brothers. So we've got Nikos Nikos Karakostas running number 97, and Dimitris Karakostas number 45. I get confused. They look quite alike. Which is the elder? They're
very similar. Actually, I think the younger one's qualified faster than his older brother.
Okay, so they're on the warm-up lap then, and we have 8 laps ahead of us. The season opener for the PATA European Junior Cup, powered by Honda. Championship, for those of you that are new to the European Junior Cup, started back in 2011 when none other than Australian Matt Davies, who went on, of course, you may have seen Matt over the last couple of seasons in World Supersport. We then had a few other champions. We had Lucas Wimmer from Austria, who's taken some time out now from riding. And then over the last couple of years, Jake Lewis, who, of course, was in action just a few moments ago in Superstock, and Augusto Fernandez. Both of those boys showing that this is the breeding ground for future stars. Should we mention that Avalon Biddle is in a relationship with Jake Lewis? I'm not sure we should, but you just did. So it's out there now for the world to know. But no, absolutely. And it's nice to see them as well supporting each other. And I'm sure that maybe the rivalry would be a little bit different, or the relationship would be different if they were on track, because
if they're in the same class.
Absolutely, she'd certainly give Jake a run for his money. So as I said, we've gone through the runners and riders. While the warm-up lap completes, Maria, maybe just some other information for the viewers that are maybe new to European Junior Cup. The age limits in place, of course. This is a championship to find the talent of the future. We have, as I said, the 2 championships, different age limits though. So boys can start or can run up until the age of 21 from the age of 14. So as we said, we do have a 14-year-old on the grid, number 52, Troy Bazudenhout. And girls, again, can start at 14, but up to 23.
Yeah, and that's because obviously there's a smaller number of women racing across the board. It's harder to even find girls of that age, but we do still have places. It would be great to get some more girls as wild cards throughout the season, and yeah, it's great to see 4 fantastic women out there competing already.
Now, obviously, Maria, I'm a gentleman, so I would never ask a lady her age, but have you thought about maybe changing your birth certificate and getting back out there? I mean, I can see I'm actually sat in the commentary box alongside you, and you're excited. You're really looking forward to this, aren't you?
I'm probably more nervous than they are, but I did get to ride the bikes at Calafat at the test before we came here to Aragon, and it's a fantastic machine. And I think it's going to lend itself to some great racing.
Absolutely. And I don't know if you saw on camera there, Maria, number 8, the poleman, cool as a cucumber, elbow down on the last turn on the warm-up lap. It sets the scene for what's going to come, doesn't it?
He's got fantastic style, very Marc Marquez.
Okay, then, so the riders are lining up. As I said, the top 12 on the grid, covered by just over a second. This promises to be an epic race. We've seen 5 epic races, and pretty much all of them decided at the last corner, and judging by Mika Perez, it could well go down to the last corner. Let's just hope, of course, that we have a safe run. 30 riders then on the grid. I was going to say 30 guys on the grid, but of course we've got the Women's Cup, so I'm going to have to get used to that as the season goes on. Okay, they're all assembled. We'll just wait then for the red man to move, the red flag man to move out of the way. Here we go, let's watch the lights, and let's see who gets the whole shot. The PATA European Junior Cup 2015. Here's go, and it's a good start from the front row. A bit of a wheelie from Guillaume Raymond, and it looks like Grassi is on the inside. Perez is going to take the whole shot, though. It's pole position to the whole shot, and it is and a big crash in the middle. Sam Wilford, definitely one of those riders.
Carlos also gone down.
Yeah, 55 as well. Well, that is a shame. Carlos Slaga's gone down, and I hope he's not running over to, let's hope we don't have any fisticuffs. And, well, he's not impressed with that at all. But at the front, it's Mika Perez leading, the number 8 rider, and a clean start, certainly. And there's a challenge for third already, and up into third position. That looks like the number 58, Emanuele Pesquedu, his first ever race, and already up into third position. And De Gracia goes through then a quarter of the way around lap 1. We've already had 3 changes, 4 changes. Perez comes back on him straight away. And number 96 there made a great start as well. That's Javier Olana. Was a little bit disappointed with Javier in terms of his qualifying. Took a tumble, but away. And we can already see, actually, Maria, I'm quite surprised, a group of 6 starting to break away.
Yeah, that's them through the tricky corkscrew section. And now this is one of the most important corners on the circuit.
And we're just getting notification on the screens that riders okay that were involved. We will bring the numbers to you. Sam Wilford, unfortunately, was certainly one of them. Number 55, Carlos Slaga's actually rejoined, we're being told. And number 13 as well was one of the fallers, the Mexican Mario Lucan. So not lasting too long, those races, and disappointing for them.
Definitely disappointed. Mario Lucan's one of... he was a wild card last year and got 7th at Jerez.
And I'm not sure, we're just getting, again, on the timing screens. We're quite lucky with all of the information that we get. It looks like Doran Loureiro, we're giving him the old big up. He was involved as well. He's gone through the first checkpoint 17 seconds behind, so I don't know if he just had to take avoiding action.
He'll be really disappointed with that because he had a problem in qualifying yesterday, and the crew actually worked all night to get his bike ready for this race, so that's a real shame.
Here we go then, 4 abreast into the end of the opening lap, and it is now the number 8 Perez. Elbows down already, and that looks like 27 Guillaume Raymond's kind of regrouped a little bit now, and he's in 5th. Here we go, 3 abreast over the line to complete the first lap. 7 to go. A little bit further back, we can see Hannes Summer is up into 6th, so a steady opening lap for the Estonian.
Avalon Biddle's actually holding place in 17th.
Great to see that, and not a great start for De Grutteler, who, of course, the number 95 Italian, who came back into the series. He's running back in 18th, but the girls made a good start, as you said, Maria. Victoria Kiss up to 19th, a great start.
Fantastic, that's from 26th on the grid.
Okay then, so let's see if things settle down a little bit. As I said, maybe not the leading group that we expected, but it's 58 at the front. Emanuele Pesquedu, leading from Mika Perez, and Orellana looking comfortable in third position.
And remember, this guy at the front's got an injury.
Absolutely. You may see on the screen as well the rider in 4th position. Looks like he's got leathers with a number 84 on. That's because he's getting a lot of mentoring from former Supersport rider, well, current Supersport rider and former Superbike rider Riccardo Russo. So what you find, Maria, and I'm sure you've seen it as well, you're mentoring the girls, but a lot of the riders really look at this class and take the riders under their wing.
Absolutely. I mean, Keenan Sofoglu's got a rider out in the pack. He's actually running in 12th, gone up to 11th right now, so that's fantastic.
Perez moves back to the front, and we did see there as they went down the straight. And are we going to get a fight back straight away from Busquets? No, we're not. The leading 5 then locked together onto the back straight. This is where we saw Tom Sykes unfortunately crash earlier. Pleased to say though that he's unhurt, but the focus of course on the PATA European Junior Cup powered by Honda, equal machines, and you can see that as they go down the back straight.
Yeah, because of the machines are equal, this is a great chance for them to show their own riding skills.
Number 27 there keeping a watching brief as number 58 goes back into the lead, so that's the second lap in a row. No jump start, which is good news indeed. The leading 6 now with a comfortable gap over the number 15 rider, Alfonso Coppola, another Italian, and another rider making his debut. Here we go then into the first corner, 3-4 abreast, and that's a great move. As you can see from the timings there, it's still Perez holding the advantage. I wouldn't be surprised, Maria, with these riders now starting to swap places, that Cipretti, who is the next rider following with a train behind him, we're going to start seeing some bunching if they keep passing like this.
Yeah, once they start fighting, they're going to start losing speed, then the others get to join the pack.
A little bit further down, Avalon Biddle up into 14th in a point-scoring position. That's what she said she wanted this weekend.
She's actually sandwiched between Hill and Harlan, 2 Brits.
And Josh Harland struggling a little bit this weekend. I'm not sure quite what's wrong with him. There seems to be a lot of fever going around. I don't know if that is one of the problems, but I would have expected Josh to be featuring a little bit higher.
He's climbing. He had a small off in qualifying. Thankfully wasn't hurt. But yeah, just everybody's getting used to a new bike.
Fastest lap of the race then on the previous lap by Matteo Cipretti, the rider that qualified on the 3rd row of the grid, currently in 8th and is starting to claw back, but we're seeing quite surprisingly lap times over 2 seconds from qualifying, so I'm quite surprised with that.
Yeah, it's definitely slower, I guess.
And here we get a replay. Watch the rider in the middle of the screen in the grey. Oh, and he got completely taken out, and that was the number 13 rider. Well, you see it from that angle, and poor Sam Wilford could
really
do nothing about that. He would not have known, and it was certainly the 13th. Here's another replay then, and clearly just out-braking himself. Yeah, you can see front wheel, back wheel in the air, and just... well, bikes everywhere, and that definitely was why the number 95 of Grotola is so far back. You saw him
he had to run
avoiding action there. No love lost then between these youngsters. They're friends off track, but certainly rivals on it. And they're on the curb there into the last corner. One of the fastest corners in the championship. It's not somewhere you'd want to get pushed onto that AstroTurf.
No, it looks like these two are having a great battle. Perez definitely hasn't managed to pull away.
And this is one of the things that the fans and the riders really like about the European Junior Cup. No clear winner, complete unpredictability, and again we're seeing that here as we start lap 4. 5 laps to go then. And further down the field, Avalon Biddle still locked in a fight. And worth pointing out as well, we talked about Kenan Sofuoglu, and we just also saw, for those viewers that were watching the Super Sock race, Toprak Razgatlioglu, the protege of Kenan, he's got another one in this field, and another rider running the number 54. Lots of similarities with the multiple World Supersport champion, but number 54 there, Harun Kabuc, and he's actually got himself up into 11th, and he's lapping really well, up to 10th in fact, as we speak, off screen, up into the top 10.
Top 10, yeah, he didn't really show his form in qualifying, so that's great to see him up there. I just want to give Anastasia Kovalenko a mention. She's a huge Lorenzo fan, that's why she's running number 99, and she's actually also racing in the Kallio team this season at home in Estonia.
And some interesting facts as well, Maria. Of course, you're mentoring the guys and the girls, predominantly the girls this year. But we talk a lot about superstitions, and some of the girls actually have some quite interesting superstitions.
I know. I think Victoria might kill me, but she always wears Garfield socks when she races.
I wonder how many pairs she's got. Maybe she can bring me a pair to Assen. It was pretty cold this morning when we came into the circuit at 7:30, and I do like to keep my feet warm, so I might ask her to bring us a pair to Assen. Okay, then we go on to the back straight then, halfway round the lap, 5 to go, and still no clear winner. A long look over the shoulder from Busquets, and Perez takes advantage and just goes straight past him. And
I think he was giving him a head nod there.
I think it was. They were nodding at each other, maybe arranging what to do after this one. And oh, that's tight into the turn, into the final corner, turn 14. We saw Intoli crash there, but again, elbows down. And Mika Perez, I mean, a lot of talent in the top 6, but Mika Perez, for me, there's something about this kid.
Definitely. Watching him in Calafat, nobody was being timed, but you could tell that he was going to be one to watch.
And there we go. Oh, what a move. 3 in 1, and Orellana takes the lead for the first time in 2015. As I said in the build-up, he's one to watch. He's the vice champion from 2014. He lost out by 15 points, and last year was actually on the podium, I think, if I'm correct in saying 5 times out of the 8. Perez comes straight back, though. It's a battle of the Spaniards and the Italians. Guillaume Raymond's keeping a watching brief. This is going to get messy.
This is messy at the front now. This is fantastic racing. 4 laps to go.
And as I said a couple of years ago when Jake Lewis was the champion, as Orellana goes back underneath, returns the favour through the right-hander, and all of the time the rider in 6th position, Hannes Summer, the Estonia, quite unassuming, no big drama, seems very relaxed all of the time. He's keeping a watching brief. Onto the back straight, and all of this is now allowing Cipretti, who again sets the fastest lap, although on the last lap it was Raymond actually that set the fastest lap, but still faster.
That was out of the corkscrew, Michael, not onto the back straight.
See, that's the good reason that you actually joined me, because I haven't got a clue where we are. I'll be talking as if we're in Imola next, but that's in a few races time, and thanks for pointing that out. So we go through then. See, I'm getting too excited, I'm getting carried away with this. Perez at the front, and unfortunately we're getting on the screen that the number 26 rider has gone down. That's Victoria Kiss. Such a shame. Turn 2, we're getting on our monitor. She crashes out of 19th position. Rider okay and up on her feet, but nevertheless showing potential.
She's going to be gutted, yeah, but yeah, what a ride up until that point. That was fantastic.
Okay, I think I've found out where we are on the track now. We're going down the back straight. I'm correct this time, and there she is. Looking a little bit forlorn. Nice helmet design, I have to say. Nice colours, and she's just walking over with the marshals, having a look at the bike. Good to see her on her feet. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, she hasn't been racing very long. She did show jumping before this. The first year of racing, she jumped on a 1000cc bike. Yeah, so that's a real shame that she's out of the race.
Single horsepower to multi-horsepower, and it's multi-horsepower as we got 3 laps to go. The top 7 are closing up, but it's still Perez leading. Orellana looking, the leg comes out, and Orellana, he likes it into turn 1. Through we go, and further back now we've got Raymond, and that was 84 as well. Gracia, they're starting to rub elbows. 3 to go then as we head through onto the rising part of the circuit. 50-metre elevation here at MotorLand Aragon, so relatively flat. And is this going to be a pass back? Yes, it is. So let's count them through this lap and see how many changes of lead we had. We've had 3 so far in 4 corners.
They're definitely fighting too much. The pack's closing again.
Obviously, you've been a rider, I've been a rider, but on these bikes at Calafat, of course, talk to us a little bit about the strategy, because the benefit or the beauty of this championship, and I've said it a couple of times in commentary, and I do go on about it, it's so even. It's one of the most competitive championships. As a youngster, coming in at 14, 15, you've got the same bike, there's no teams with big budgets. If you've got talent, you'll get spotted. It's
going to show. Yeah, no, this is the beauty of the championship. They're all on exactly the same machinery. This is a Honda CBR 650F. It's a sports tourer, 649cc, inline 4-cylinder. And it's just had some basic racing upgrades. So it's got GBR engine protections, it's got Olin suspension front and rear, that's fully adjustable, Gillies footrest and handlebars, Rizoma brake protector, and a beautiful Terminioni full race system to reduce weight and add performance. But they're all on the same bike, so it's all down to the rider.
It absolutely is, and there's a mistake off onto the AstroTurf, and the AstroTurf not as grippy as you would think, and Hannes Summer found that out to his cost. He's lost a little bit of touch now with the leading group, and now we've got a leading group of 5, and Guillaume Raymond still at the back, and once again Orellana on the curbs, and he's a brave boy, isn't he, into turn 14.
He's definitely showing his experience here.
Okay, so if we turn the clock back 12 months, both Perez and Orellana were on the podium. So, of course, Orellana in 2nd position last year, and, of course, Perez taking the podium in 3rd. So, sorry, Maria?
Biddle's moved to 14th place, Avalon Biddle.
Fantastic ride, and certainly mixing it with the boys, and some impressive lap times as we go shoulder to shoulder, and he's leaning on him there, and they're friends off track. I mean, if you actually saw these guys in the paddock just hanging around, but now we go back, and he's dropped back another place. Now it's really hotting up. Orellana goes back to 4th. Gracia thinks about it.
Who's having a look?
And Orellana straight back. There we go again on the inside. A little bit unsteady under braking, and we'll see if he pulled that off. I think he did. Worth pointing out as well for our viewers in Greece, we're so happy to have some Greek riders, and the number 45 rider Dimitris is actually going a lot quicker than he did in qualifying, up into 18th, so a good result. Arms waving, starting, we've got 2 to go.
This is getting furious at the front. The pack's closed up. And they're coming through the corkscrew. This is going to be exciting.
Absolutely. Number 58 thought about it there, Emanuele Pusquedo, and what a debut. I mean, the kid's never seen the track. He's only saw the bike for the first time at Calafat, and again, one I think that we're going to be watching this year, but nothing is certain in European Junior Cup racing, as we have seen, but Perez looks the most comfortable. The leg comes out, and again, he's good on the brakes, Pusquedo.
Oh, but he's clipped the curb, he's gone wide, but has he got it back? Yes.
Here we go then. It's all going to come down as we thought it would. It's going to be a last lap thriller here at MotorLand Aragon. And just think, Maria, you've got 4 days and we do it all again.
I won't actually be with you in Assen.
Oh, well, hopefully you can be with me in spirit. But here we go, and a long look from Pusquedo across to Perez. And it's going to be a case, I think, of who actually has played this right. Suma now we're regrouping after that mistake, and he got to get through. But it's going to be, I think, between these top 4. And as we come through then to start it's going to be the last lap, in fact. We're coming through then to start the last lap as number 54 goes down. That's Harun Kabuc, so we're bigging him up. Commentators curse for the Turkish rider, but nevertheless, I'm sure he'll be there. We start the final lap. 4 abreast, and he's never going to do that. Oh, he does. He does. Hats off to Javi Orellana. 4 in 1, and 3 in 1. Sorry, takes up into the lead, and Perez is leaning on him. And is he going to come straight back? You would think he will, knowing what Perez is like. No way through. Oh, he's left a gap, and Pusquedo's gone straight back through as well. 7 in it.
Gracia's moved up.
Okay, Maria, I know you're a betting lady. Who's your money on in this one?
I don't want to put money on any of these. I'm not favouring anybody. This is going to be wild to the finish.
Wild to the finish, absolutely, and hats off. It's been clean so far. A little bit of elbow rubbing, but we like that, don't we, in Junior Cup racing? And again, as you said, hats off. Whoever wins this will have thoroughly deserved it.
Absolutely.
So Orellana hits the front. As you said, the rider in this group with the most experience. Has he timed this to perfection? Oh, he's gone wide. No, he's not.
And Perez is dropping back.
He absolutely is dropping back as well, and I'm surprised. Has Perez shot his bolt? He's been mugged on this final lap. Well, here we go then. Orellana onto the curb, and it looks to me like the first 2 are edging away. Paulo Gracia, and here we go. He's not going to lunge it here. It's too close. But to Gracia then. Oh, and he clips the curb again, does Orellana. Unsettles the bike a little bit, and they're all back together again. I'm not sure I can watch this this last corner.
I have to say, it's hard to speak. It's crazy.
But what a way to start the season. We've got 8 rounds of this, and as I said, the next round in just a few days' time. But we're on to the back straight. This is it. Who has timed this right? Guillaume Ramon and Hannes Suma at the back there are just too far, and it's going to be 3 at best. What a slipstream from the rider in 4th, Mika Perez. He's never going to pull this off. They touch each other. Here we go. It's going to be who's going to be the bravest on the corner, and it is Gracia. No, it's not. It's Orellana. Orellana around the outside. Does he get it stopped? Yes, he does. I have to stop for breath. I'm not sure who's going to do this, but I think Orellana's going to do it. He's over the curb. The wheels are sliding. Suma's on the grass, and it's Orellana. Orellana takes the victory from Paulo Gracia. 2 Italians. Pusquedo taking 3rd. Perez is off the podium. Hannes Suma recovers to take 5th, and still, as we can see on the screen, the number 15 rider, Alfonso Coppola, and of course there as well, the number 53, Ilan Fernandez, battling all the way through. Let's count them through. Kudos, congratulations, Avalon Biddle, the top lady rider, 13th and 3 points, finishing just ahead of Stefan Hill. Wow, what a race.
That was some race, what a finish. Javier
Orellana on the podium last year, vice champion, and well, they look like they enjoyed that, didn't they? There's no arm waving. That was a good clean scrap, and a brilliant way to start the European Junior Cup.
I think he was actually touching with Gracia over the line there. That's how close it was.
It certainly looked it, but Orellana, well, he looks happy with himself, doesn't he? And rightly so. Wow, let's get our breath back and just try and summarise that. He's looking down at the bike. He's very happy. Actually spoke with him and his dad actually after the crash he had on Friday, and the poor kid looked so distraught. He was so confident coming into the weekend, and it all went wrong. But he's regrouped. What a brilliant ride.
Yeah. I was just talking to his mum before the race. She gets probably more nervous than her son, but she's actually from Bolton.
She is actually, yes, not far from my neck of the woods in the United Kingdom. But what a great slowdown lap. Again, the pictures that we're seeing, all of those riders thoroughly enjoyed that. There's thumbs up, they're questioning where each of them finished. Fantastic. And let's just put this into context. Guillaume Raymond, returning to the championship, finished 7th, 0.8 seconds from the win. And if we have a season like that, I'm going to be watching European Junior Cup until we get to Manicourt.
But this camaraderie, this is what's happening in the European Junior Cup Village. You know, it's fantastic. Everyone works together, and it's a great atmosphere down there.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the EJC Village. For those of you that are going to be coming to some of the races, of course, the championship moves on next week to the Netherlands and the Assen circuit before going on to Italy and Imola, to Donington Park in the UK, to Portugal in the Algarve circuit there on June the 7th. We then go back to Italy on June the 21st before heading to the penultimate round in September at Jerez, and for the season finale once again on October the 4th at Magny-Cours. If you're planning on going to any of those, as Maria said, as we just get a replay here on the last lap, they were over the curb, but a perfectly timed manoeuvre. And even there, you saw the suspension move. Orellana was literally curb to curb. You couldn't have got much closer than that.
He's using all of his suspension there, yeah. That was a drag to the line as well for these two. Leg off, touch.
And I think you're right, they did touch. And Gracia looked a little bit upset, but I think when he realised he was second, he was quite happy. But what I was going to say was, of course, if you're watching today because you're not at MotorLand Aragon, but you are visiting one of the future races, do make sure when you have looked around the paddock a little bit that you go to the EJC Village. Some of the nicest kids you could ever wish to meet, and they'll make you feel very welcome. Okay then, and how nice is that? Look at that, the rider putting the stand on. I don't know if you saw that, Maria. Augusto Fernandez, last year's champion, his best friend. They actually go training together, and
what a meeting he's had this weekend.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. And there's Fernandez still in his leathers, and his best friend on the podium. Paulo Gracia almost crashes coming into Parc Ferme, so he's quite excited, and
I'd say he's happy.
Absolutely, indeed. So let's just give you a quick summary then. Just in the back there, Rob Lewis, Jake Lewis's dad, of course, former father of the champion. But what a race, number 58, Pusquero. Oh, he's delighted, isn't he, with a debut podium, and rightly so. So Orellana then taking the win from Paulo Gracia and Pusquero. Perez, who looked like he had that in control, finished
he looked
fourth.
like he was going to have that in the bag, but towards the end, the pack closed and he got swallowed up.
He did. Hannes Suma, as we said, had an off-track moment, but did regroup to finish 5th. And I think this may be the standings. It is indeed then the opening round. Javier Orellana, Paulo Gracia and Emanuele Pusquero, your podium finishers here at the opening round. And look how close that was, 28 thousandths of a second. Matteo Cipretti behind Hannes Suma, Guillaume Raymond, Ilan Fernandez, Alfonso Coppola, and the Frenchman, the second Frenchman in the top 10, the number 59 rider Dorian Laville. De Grottler recovered from his off-track antics to finish 11th ahead of Van Sikkelrus. Avalon Biddle, what a ride for the New Zealand rider. Great result for her.
And she wins the first Women's European Championship race.
She does. Stefan Hill regrouped to get some points. Josh Harland out of the points. And Troy Bazuden, who's the youngest rider, 14 years old, finishing in 17th.
Kovalenko, Anastasia, she finished in 21st, and Rodriguez in 22nd, and that was fantastic because she also had a crash, so a very brave finish there.
Absolutely great to see all of our young ladies doing very, very well, and what a race. The championship standings then, we've only had one race, so it's going to be, as we've just seen, Orellana heads to Assen in 4 days. He's actually driving through the night, he said, from tomorrow to get there in preparation for the second round. 5 points the advantage then as we head to the Netherlands. A little bit further back. I want to shout out there in 15th, the last point, going to Saeed Dahan, riding for Honda Spain this weekend, and of course a wildcard rider, and a nice little present for Honda Spain there, getting the final point.
Absolutely.
So I think hopefully we will see the podium finish. We will indeed. Now I'm wondering whether that is Prosecco, whether it's fizzy lemonade. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that works. I think again, anyone under the age of 18 doesn't get alcohol. But there we go in third position, looking very happy. And as you said, he's still limping. You could clearly see he was limping there. Our third place finisher, Emanuele Pusquero. Shake of the hand to his compatriot, fellow Italian Paulo Gracia, his first podium as well. And our winner, Javier Orellana, and there is Van Sikkelris and Dan Drayton as well too. So it's nice to see, as you said, the camaraderie, finishing out of the points or lower down the leaderboard, but coming to support their friends and their rivals.
Still there supporting them on the podium.
Absolutely. I'm sure that'll change in a few years when they're all in superbikes or super sport. But the thumbs up from Javier Orellana. And again, we just now get the fastest. There she is, Avalon Biddle. Again, not quite sure where she needs to stand, but it's all new for her. But what an accolade, going down in history, the first ever lady winner in the FIM Europe Women's European Cup.
Fantastic to see. She works so hard at her racing, and like we were saying, she's come from New Zealand, hot off a championship win. She's hungry.
And sporting Will Sport on her leathers, of course. Will Sport, founded and run by Rob and Cheryl London. I couldn't think of the name for a second. Sorry, Phil and Cheryl London. Of course, their son Connor raced in the championship, but they put a lot of money into the sport and a lot of their own money as well. And how nice that they've stuck with the European Junior Cup, but deciding to sponsor and support the lady. Harriet Orellana there, Europe Foods on the top step. And again, we can see Carlos Lager there as well. He's going to be bitterly disappointed after being taken out by no fault of his own. And spare a thought too for poor Sam Wilford.
Yeah, that was disappointing for them all, obviously.
But as we've seen, European Junior Cup racing is unpredictable. The national anthem of the winning rider. Applause there for the top three, and I'm not sure whether in other races we will get the national anthem of the winning manufacturer Honda. I'm not sure whether that applies, or whether we go straight to the spraying of the fizzy lemonade. Oh, we're going straight.
He was fast on that.
He was. He was almost as fast there as he was on the track. We go straight to the fizzy lemonade, of course. The winning manufacturer naturally is going to be Honda. It's a Honda championship, so naturally we would not have the national anthem. A clink of the bottles. Avalon looking delighted. And
she didn't get a bottle though. That's a shame.
Oh, I never noticed that. Maybe she's actually passed it over the side and given it down to Jake for a drink, or maybe Jake needs to take her for a drink at the next one.
Definitely deserved.
Orellana then inviting the other riders onto the top step, and absolutely rightly so as well. Bring your helmet, Avalon, as well, and quite a nice little caricature as well there for him. And well, I just realised he's got the little mascot with him as well. Did he carry that the whole race? I've never seen where he pulled that from. Was that in his levers the whole time?
It wasn't on the bike.
A nice little touch. Talking about superstitions earlier, weren't we? And there we are, the three winning bikes, the Pata Honda CBR 650s. And you never know, I've been speaking to Jerry Bryce that we could maybe have a test on one of those later in the year. That's been for us, of course, a great race here at MotorLand Aragon. I've been Michael Hill, Maria Costello. We'll see you in Assen.
Thank you.